Hi, I'm Deena, and for my final major project, I've decided to look into diversity, culture, and food. I've created an event called Eating Together, which I'll later on explain in more detail. So, how did I get to diversity, culture, and food from my essay question? Well, originally my essay question was, how has the advancement of technology devalued the graphic designer? And my findings from my research, I found how technology changed over the past 30 years and how this has impacted the industry, and how the process of design went from analog to digital and how this revolutionised the industry. So, in my essay, I talked about change, and for my final major project, I wanted to do something to change. I looked at different ways that small changes in the world can make a big impact. And from this, I wanted to find about change and how I want to change the way that people looked at other cultures. So why did I choose to tackle the issue of diversity, culture and food? Well, first, it's an issue that I felt passionate about and would like to create this social environment to help break the barriers that some may see between different cultures. And as a child, I often experienced and I felt excluded and discriminated against for my own ethnicity and background, and over the years have made myself stray away from my own culture. And by doing this project, I hope to create a community where we feel accepted of our culture and to help others to understand a little bit about other cultures. I intend to use food to do this. Why food? Well, one thing that everyone can relate to is food. It is essential for us to eat to live, and through this we can understand a small aspect of another culture through their food and how different types of food come from different parts of the world. The aims for this project is to use food to bring together 18 to 25-year-olds from different backgrounds, ethnicities and origins. I've chosen 18 to 25-year-old as my target market, as this is a generation who are more accepting to change and open to the idea of learning about something to accept it. The objectives of this project is to seek a sense of new community with people who can share experiences, culture, food and diversity. And for the intended outcomes, I've decided to increase harmony, decrease tension, share an understanding of culture, and most importantly, celebrate together through the project. I did some research and insight into this project and found how 9 in 10 people think people would like free trade with EU countries to continue, but at the same time, as many as 7 in 10 think the UK should be able to limit the number of people from the EU who come here to live and work, including 55% of the people who voted to remain in the EU. Doing some more research on how food and culture are linked, Nigel Slater says he can think of no place that welcomes food of other countries with more enthusiasm than Britain. So, this brings along the question, why are we so willing to take on new cultures and foods, however aren't willing to accept the people from these backgrounds? I believe that the reason that some may dislike other cultures is because of the lack of understanding. It is natural for the body to be afraid or dislike something because they don't understand it. And by creating a social event where we can learn about cultures through the food, whether it's a traditional dish and where the dish originates from, and how different parts of the world eat different types of food. Understanding a dish is one step closer to understanding a part of that culture. I took from the term breaking bread, which means to have a meal together, and in this I want to include sharing a culture together. How I intend to do this? By creating a social event and event pack where we all brought together through the power of food. I did some research into past events and social gatherings and came across Macmillan's Coffee Morning Kit. Macmillan is a charity that helps to support cancer patients. They have a fundraising event called Coffee Mornings, provided a coffee morning fundraising kit along with this. Coffee Mornings is an event where a group can get together for the opportunity to talk and catch up over coffee and a slice of cake or other breakfast goods, and donations gathered from this event. Taking inspiration from this, I've decided to create my own event and event pack. As a starting basis for my project, I went and asked friends and family if they had any stories or favourite dishes that they'd like to share. This was so I could include a more personal story behind the food and the culture behind it. For example, if the dish was a traditional one, the meaning behind it and where it originates from. or if the dish has a certain childhood memory as to why it had a deep meaning to that person. I've decided to create an event called Eating Together. Eating Together is a social event where guests can try new foods and learn about them from each other. For the event, I've also decided to include a pack. The pack includes everything needed to host the event, from a guide on how to host your own potluck, recipe cards including a selection of dishes from around the world, postcard invitations to send out to guests, food flags for labelling the food and includes flags of countries from where it originates from, tablecloth and bunting for decoration. How it works. The pack is used to set up a social event and in this case a cultural potluck. The idea behind it is by everyone bringing a dish from their background or culture, we can share this with each other and share a meaning or story behind it as well. This gives the chance to guests to try new foods from around the world and learn about the dish from each other, and thus to help to learn and understand a little bit about their culture. For the colour scheme of this project, I've decided to use the colours based on the Olympic rings. I've chosen these colours as they were seen widely across the world and chosen as neutral colours to represent the 5 continents and the 6 colours that appear on all national flags. I've decided to choose a more muted version of these colours, with the blue, yellow, green and red being softer to fit the aesthetic and to appeal more to the target market. I swapped black out for the white and added a border around each colour as a solid black looked too harsh against the colours. The colour scheme is used throughout the project as seen in the bunting and tablecloth and for the background on the recipe cards and postcards. The pack is also very illustration heavy and have used these illustrations throughout the project on the Facebook page and the website. I've decided to use illustrations throughout the project as it helps to set the tone and appeals to the target audience, and by using the illustrations makes the event less intimidating for the target market. I've also used the illustrations on the recipe cards as I felt a photograph of the end product would be too intimidating for anyone to try the project in this demographic. For the best, the illustration gives an idea of what the dish looks like, however takes the pressure of their dish having to be perfect away. By creating this social event, which is intended to bring people together, increase harmony, decrease tension between cultures, share an understanding of culture, and most important, to celebrate the culture together. Along with the pack, I've also decided to create a website along with it. The website includes blogs, events, and recipes. Under the blog section, we have a talk on how food brings us together and how to host a potluck event, along with relevant times, a blog about how COVID-19 has impacted the cooking world, and how the impact of this, although we are apart physically, has brought us together in a time of need mentally. This is important as my whole project is based around bringing people together in unity. As well as in the pack, I've also decided to include the steps of hosting a potluck on the website for anyone who is curious to this without having to order the pack. Events. Under the events section, you can find out about the past events that have been held and potential future events. I.e., one event held could be a cultural potluck. This is where the event is written about, images shared, and what kinds of dishes were included in this particular event, and what we have learned through this event individually. Host your own event. This page, users are able to find more information about the pack and can use the form on here to order the pack. Recipes. Recipes included in this post in the potluck. Recipes included in the pack are also posted on the website, as well as a little bit about the dish and any stories around them. Facebook page. I've also decided to create a Facebook page to go along with the website and the pack. This is to create an online social community. Creating a Facebook page for Eating Together as a platform to promote my project, as well as creating a social platform where it can be regularly updated regarding events and to share information about different cultures, posts, recipes and photos along with this. By creating a social media page gives a quick and easy way of sharing and communicating with others, and to help create a community online as well as in person. The page also gives a place for others to upload their own recipes that they might like to share, and post about events. The reason I decided to use Facebook as my social media platform for this is because the target audience aged 18 to 25 are familiar with Facebook already and how to use it. Facebook also has a feature that allows for groups and page setups to be posted, to post pictures and create event pages. This is useful when a participant is holding a potluck of their own and can create an event, and they can from this invite others to make it easy for the host and the guests to be made aware of the event, how many people will be attending, and any information that they would need to relay across easily. Facebook is a great platform to keep up to date with others and to keep informed about social events. Originally to test the idea of my project, I was intending to host a potluck event and see if the event helped to bring people together and learn about different cultures. Also to create a community where the culture is shared together amongst them. However, as we are currently amidst a global pandemic, this was no longer possible. So I decided to go to social media and see if anyone would be interested in the concept of this event and the idea behind it. Creating a survey around my idea and asking if participants would be interested in the event and I asked questions as to why they would be interested in the event, what sort of experience they think they would be able to gain from this event. And from the responses I received from the survey, I would say, had the event had the ability to be tested in the original manner, would have been a success. My findings from the research and survey, I found that 91% said that they would attend this event. 55% of those said that they would attend the event because it seemed like a good way to make new friends. 27% of these said that they would like to learn about new cultures from this event. 18% said they are wanting to try new foods and from different cultures. And 91% in total agreed that attending this event will help to understand and bring culture together. In conclusion, I felt the project was a success as it meets all the aims and objectives set out for it. And even though the project did not actually get hosted as an event in the time being, the goal was still achieved through other means. Through the website and the Facebook page, as they both provide a social community where cultures are shared either through the blogs, posts, stories and recipes. What I've learned from this project. I've learned about different cultures and have gained knowledge about them, as well as the food behind some of these cultures and why it's important for these cultures to have these certain foods and what it means for them. The importance of bringing people together and to celebrate culture together. Thank you for listening.